This is the custom Epicor timesheet created by Creative Technology and Design. Throughout this video, I will explain the many functions and features of the Timecard. We will begin here with Enter Time Charges, View Time Charges, and Supervisor Approval. Enter Time Charges are for users to enter their time. Each user has access to this button. Super users also have access to this function. Super users are employees that have the ability to make or view entries for all other users. Three types of people have access to view time charges. Individual users can view their own time charges either in this pay period or any other pay period. A direct supervisor can also click on this and view all of their subordinates' time charges. And again, a super user can view anyone's time charges in any pay periods with this button. Supervisors can click this and see all of their employees' timesheets and go through the individual time charges and reject or approve each of them. This is the employee ID, this is the employee name, and this is the payroll period. The date displayed here is the last day in the payroll period. When a user opens the time card, the ID, name, and current pay period are all going to be pre-populated. Today's date will also be pre-selected. Users can toggle to different days throughout the pay period. Over here they can see the total number of hours charged in week 1, and the total number of hours charged in week 2, and then the total hours for the entire pay period. This is the employee's PTO balance, personal time off. When an employee enters a PTO time charge in the timesheet, the number will decrement, offering the most up-to-date PTO balance. These are the two time entry types. This gives users a choice as to how they enter their time, while still collecting start and stop times for accurate time capture. Time by day allows users to put in the start and stop times of when they worked over the course of a day. Then they create the time charges and put how many hours they worked on it. So let's do an example. Perhaps an employee worked from 8 to 12, took a lunch break, and then worked from 1 to 5. You can see here this is the total number of hours worked on this day. Let's say they spent half of their time doing accounting and the other half working on a project. So they're going to add a new indirect charge, type in the code. You can see that there's also a pull down. Start and stop times are not necessary because we've already indicated the start and stop times for the entire day. Work hours, let's say it was half of our day. And now it's time to enter the project charge. We put in the project ID, the WBS phase, and the operation. This is a required field for line notes with a 10-character minimum to describe what you did. Now, although these are optional, you can put in a start and end time if you remember. And it'll fill in your work hours for you. We have now completed a time by day entry. Let us now take a look at how to do a time by time charge entry. A new payroll time charge is selected. You will notice that one of the grids has disappeared. In this format, users have the ability to skip that step and instead choose to enter the start and stop time of each entry individually. Now imagine that the user had an identical day with accounting in the morning and a project in the afternoon. Because accounting is an indirect charge, we can click Add New under the Indirect Time Charges section. Type in accounting. Now, here start and end time is required. And after we're finished, it will calculate the work hours for us. Now we go to the project time charges and add new. Now, because we're working on the same project, WBS phase and operation combination as we were last time, we can use the quick pick function. This has all of our past project WBS and operation combinations, including our line notes. So we can select this and it fills this in for us. Go to the start time. Again, this is required. And now we've completed our entry. Let's say for a moment that we didn't work on this project and actually we took that time off. We can delete this record and open up a new PTO time charge. We can add new and select PTO. This number doesn't really matter, so long as that it equals 4 hours. Then, when we press save, this number will decrement. Now, the most current available PTO balance is displayed. We have now gone over the Enter Time Charges functionality. As I mentioned before, view time charges are for users to view their own time in open or closed pay periods. No new entries are allowed in this mode. Super users can use view time charges to view time for all employees in all periods. Now, I cannot click supervisor approval because Zeus Lightning Bolt is not a supervisor. So I'm going to log in as a person. I'm going to log in as a user that is a supervisor to demonstrate the supervisor approval. We've now logged in as Miles Simon. Miles Simon is able to click on the supervisor approval button because he's a supervisor. You'll notice all of these green lights under many of the days. These green lights mean that every time charge in that day has been approved by the supervisor. So, when a supervisor goes to this page, you can see that all of the charges have been approved. This means that when a supervisor goes to this page, he or she can quickly see which days need to be looked at and approved. Let's go to this one. We can see here that there's a time charge that has not been approved. Let's say the supervisor looks at it and approves it. Now, when the supervisor goes off the day, there's now going to be a light underneath it, indicating that all of the time charges have been approved. Now logged in as Zeus again in the Enter Time Charges mode. Now that we've discussed supervisor approval, I want to go over project manager approval. As you can see, one of the days has a red color underneath it, and this means that there's a time charge that has been rejected by the project manager in this day. As you can see, this is the charge that has been rejected. You can click on the rejected comments here and see why the project manager rejected your charge. The user can fix the charge and it will be resubmitted to the project manager. Perhaps the operation was wrong, and when you press save, the status will change back to submitted. This time charge will go back into the project manager's queue for reapproval. In summary, the timesheet by Creative Technology and Design supports the total life cycle of time reporting, including a secure time entry in a simple, easy-to-use format. It provides for matrix organization time charge approvals. Both the employee's direct supervisor and the project manager can approve every time charge. It does the accrual and consumption of PTO, paid time off, and also does secure reporting for the user, project manager, supervisor, and payroll department. Thank you for watching.